Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtianygo here, and today I'm going to be coming at you with another Drytron deck profile for you guys. So the last one we saw was uploaded Saturday, just this past week, where I showed you guys the Megalith version. Today we are going to be going over the turn skip, prevent your opponent from special summoning, skip your opponent's main phase 1, and technically their battle phase as well. We are going over all that today, guys, with our updated Drytron deck profile. Now there's, like I said, multiple ways to go ahead and play. If you want to play the Megalith version, check out the video that I uploaded on Saturday. Go ahead and leave a link in the description for you guys. But without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Just make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and let's go. So first, we're going to be starting off with the ritual monsters. We have one Drytron, Meteonis, Draconids, self-explanatory. One of the main phase 1 skipper, which is going to be the Amorphactor Pain. It's kind of a little bit of a mouthful when it comes to the full name, so we're just going to call him Amorphactor Pain. Which pretty much says when this guy is ritual summoned, if this card is ritual summoned, skip the main phase 1 of your opponent's next turn. If you guys are going first, your opponent doesn't get a main phase 1, essentially doesn't really get a battle phase since they don't get to do anything in their main phase 1. You do have to watch against Pirelli, of course, because they are still going to be able to go ahead and summon out a few things during the draw phase, but they're not going to be able to activate their effects in order to XZ summon until they get to main phase 2. So big plus right off the bat. Natasha, of course, in 3 copies of Ben 10 to be able to just recycle through all of them, guys. Just make it really easy on us. Next play, max out on all the Drytron monsters, 3 copies of Delta, Gamma, Zeta, and Alpha to get the full advantage with this deck. As I said this in the previous profile, you are going to want to make sure you see at least 2 Drytron names. Gets you to pretty much any single other combo you guys want. So guys, make sure that you are paying attention to this. Make sure you guys are maximizing on your Drytron names, and you guys will be fine, just fine. Next we play 3 of the brand new fully unlimited Herald of the Orange Light. I do want to make sure I max out on this card as well, because it is going to be our only real hand drop besides for Kurikara, which we play 2 of. Kurikara, I don't know how effective it's going to be in this format. I do know, of course, it is really good in Drytron specifically because it is a level 1. It can get really big as well. Cashier is not that big of an issue, but there may still be some decks that leave a lot of monsters on the field to activate their effects, so it might still be nice to go ahead and mess around with, but we'll see as the time progresses if this card is actually going to be good or not. Well, we'll see by next week, right? So 3 Herald of Orange Light, of course, to be able to go ahead and negate things like Drone Lockbird, negate D-Shifter, things like that, and you're going to be good to go. Would you actually go ahead and search in this combo as well? Normally you would search out cards like Artifact Lancia, but again, since Cashier is not really a big of a threat anymore, you don't need it. You can go ahead and side it, and if you really only put it up if you're going up against Fluanderies, or if you happen to get that one random Cashier matchup. 1 copy of Diviner of the Herald, which is crucial for the combo. I'm going to show you guys at the end of this video, so you guys stay tuned for that. In the event you don't want to go ahead and do this play with Herald, you can still search out the Vanity's Ruler as well and summon this guy as your normal summon, and that way your opponent just cannot special summon monsters, which is the only way they really have out to this is if they're playing A, Fluanderies, or B, if they have Impermanent Hand or Dark Ruler. So if they have Impermanent Hand, they have Impermanent Hand. There's really nothing you can do about that, right? And that's going to be it for the monsters, guys. Now on to the spells. We have 2 copy of Meteonis Drytron, 1 copy of the Fafnir, 3 Nova, and 3 Cyber Emergency for consistency. I did want to try out Triple Tactics Thrust in here. I just think it's going to be really good in this upcoming format. We can search out Talents, Herald the Abyss, which is still going to be a really good card as well. Dark Ruler no more. Again, shut off your opponent's entire board. Harpy Spread Duster in the main to go ahead and deal with any type of track tricks. Labyrinth was completely unchecked on the ban list, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. We have Foolish Burial as well to go ahead. You can search this out if you want to. Still going to be a really good card for your overall combo. And then you have, of course, 1 Called by the Grave for the nonsense plays. So we have 43 cards in the main. For the extra deck, we play 1 copy of Herald of the Arclight that you search anything you want, essentially. Then you search a ritual monster or ritual spell when it's into the graveyard. So you send this off of the Diviner of the Herald, and this searches you your Amorphactor of Pain, so it pretty much solidifies the combo. Next you play your 1 Intis, you can also send this off of that, so you're good to go from there. You have 1 Dynamondo, which is pretty cool, part of the combo in your opponent's turn. So what this guy basically does is you can tribute this card and target a ritual monster graveyard, add it to your hand or special summon it, so it resummons the Amorphactor Pain after you go into this with IP Masquerena to go ahead and just get rid of cards on the field. So really good card, definitely right off the bat. You play 1 copy of Link Karibo, 1 copy of the IP Masquerena, Nightmare Phoenix, the Appaloosa, access code for game, things like that. For the Exes, you play 1 Fuko or Fucho, however you guys want to say that, which is the best card to go into in the event you get draw a Lockbird and you don't happen to have a Herald. You summon this guy out and you're good to go. You survive next to turn. Live to die another day, as they say, right? 1 copy of the Nightingale, 2 copies of the Mu Beta Fafnir, 1 Downer, 1 Zeus, and 1 Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. It's pretty standard when it comes, to be honest, as far as the extra that goes. But when it comes to this, guys, you really don't want to, I think, deviate too much, because then you start getting into really inconsistent territory. Even though we are going a little bit out there by playing a lot of the one-ups with Triple Tactics Tasking, it does help a lot, again, with the consistency of the deck and making sure that we are always able to pump out the same exact play over and over again. Without further ado, guys, that's going to be it for the actual deck itself. Now, let's get into the combo. Alright, guys, so for the combo, all you guys are going to need in your hand is Alpha and Zeta. All you're going to need, completely crazy, what this hand can actually do for you. You can go full combo with this hand as well, but we're just going for the turn skip combo. So we're going to activate the Alpha, tribute the Zeta in order to search out our Ben 10 and special summon out the Alpha. Then we're going to activate Zeta in the graveyard to tribute off the Ben 10. This is going to allow us to search a ritual spell off of Zeta's effect, which then lets us trigger the Ben 10. Ben 10 is then going to allow us to search the Herald of the Diviner of the Herald, sorry. And then that pretty much gets us set up for the initial play. Now, next thing we're going to do is go into Mu Beta Fafnir, and then what we are going to want to do is activate the effect on summon 2 Foolish Burial, a Gamma, which we're going to be using here in just a little bit as well. So then we are going to actually summon out the Herald and then send out the Herald of the Arclight, which then lets us search our Amorphage Pain directly from our decks. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to maximize the amount of advantage that we are gaining off this. So the best course of action is to activate Meteor and Drytron. We can summon out Pain, but that leaves us with a very limited play without really maximizing what the play can really do. So we're going to go ahead and activate the Meteor and Drytron, and we're going to go ahead and use one of the materials from Mu Beta Fafnir to summon out the Ben 10 to our field, which we are immediately going to go ahead and get rid of for the Gamma in our graveyard. We're going to activate Ben 10 again because it's not 1 per turn, of course. Then it's going to let us search Herald of Orange Light. Like I said, in this scenario, you can go ahead and search other cards. Usually in previous formats, you would search out Lancia, or search out other cards, but only having 2 cards in hand, realistically, you are going to have other light fairies in your hand potentially, like Ben 10s or other cards in your hand. So you guys want to make sure you search this out to have that additional form of interruption during your opponent's turn. So then we're going to activate Meteor and Drytron, adding it back to our hand for free, activate the Drytron, and we're actually going to be able to use the Fafnir as well as this material to go ahead and summon out the Pain onto our side of the field, which is, I believe, not an activated effect, is on a summoning requirement. So if this card is ritual summon, skipped in the main phase 1. So I don't believe that this can actually get negated with like Skill Drain or Imperm or wherever it might be, so that's huge. Right, so then we're going to go ahead and go into IP Masquerena, and this immediately helps us. We can go ahead and end our turn there. Standby phase, main phase 1, battle phase, so your opponent can only play on main phase 2. During this entire interaction, we can actually activate IP Masquerena to go into an Appaloosa, because we do have 3 materials on the board. We can activate the card to go ahead and use IP, and the Zeta to go into a Dynamundo, sending the Pain to go ahead and destroy a card on the field, and doing activate Dynamundo, sending itself, tributing, and special summoning out the Pain. Pain not only gets rid of the main phase 1, it also has an amazing effect where it negates the effects of all other Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz monsters while they are on the field, which pretty much only allows your opponent to activate Link monsters or Pendulum monsters. Pendulum monsters really don't come up ever, so you have that to look forward to, right? Unless you go up against Unchained and they play like the 1 DDD, but whatever. So this card's there from the field to the graveyard. You can also add a Draco Overlord monster, which doesn't really come up, but that is it for the combo, guys. It's not too overly complicated. You guys just want to make sure that you stay alert for two things, guys. You got to make sure that you have two Drytrons in hand. You got to make sure you are able to maximize your plays. If there's a way that you can abuse Ben 10, you better make sure you abuse it, because all it's going to do is net you more resources and let you plus even more in advance. So from 2 cards, we went to 7, 10, 11 cards total being used in this combo. So really good combo, guys. Anyway, like I said, in the event that you guys want to go ahead and summon out the Banlist ruler, you can go ahead and search it instead of the Diviner of the Herald, so you have that to look forward to as well. Just tribute summon it and just pass, and if your opponent has a special summon, you automatically win that game. Realistically, the only game that's not winning you is going to be against, again, Fluandries. But other than that, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Is this the best way to go ahead and play Drytron? I don't know. There's so many different ways. There's this, there's that, there's the Megalith version. So let me know what you guys' favorite ways to go ahead and play Drytron is. If there's any other deck profiles you guys want to see that have been affected by the ban list or not, and you just want to go ahead and see the more updated version, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll get it out to you guys as soon as possible. Without further ado, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.